Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. And that right there is the most terrifying thing I can tell you. Because here's the truth, that nobody in the self-improvement space wants to lead with your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive, and those two things are not the same. They haven't been for thousands of years. Your ancestors needed a brain that never relaxed, that always scanned for danger, that remembered every bad thing that happened and made absolutely sure. You never forgot the lesson. That brain kept them breathing. It kept the species going. That same brain is now inside you, running the same ancient software. In a world with no predators, just emails, notifications, comparison, and that specific kind of Sunday anxiety you can't quite explain, and it treats all of it like a threat to your survival. Every critical comment, every awkward silence, every unopened bill, every moment where you scrolled through someone else's life and felt something heavy settle in your chest, your ancient brain flagged all of it, stored it, prioritized it. Meanwhile, the good stuff slid right through. I used to think I was just a negative person. Took me an embarrassingly long time to realize. I wasn't negative. My brain was just running a program that was never updated. Neuroscientists call it the negativity bias. Your brain is structurally wired physically measurably to notice, process, and remember negative experiences more powerfully than positive ones. One bad interaction can outweigh 5 good ones. One harsh comment can live in your head for days, while 20 kind ones disappear by morning. This is not weakness. This is not pessimism. This is architecture. But here's where everything changes. Your brain is not fixed, not even close. Neuroscientists have confirmed something that should genuinely stop you in your tracks. The human brain remains physically changeable throughout your entire life. New neural pathways can be built. Old ones can be weakened. The brain you have right now, the one defaulting to stress, to comparison to that low-level hum of not enough, is not the brain you are stuck with. The technical term is neuroplasticity, and it means that happiness is not a personality trait you either have or you don't. It is a skill, measurable, trainable, learnable. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin studied thousands of brain scans and found that when chronically unhappy, people were taught specific mental habits and practiced them consistently, their brain scans changed. The happiness architecture literally grew stronger. You are not your current default setting. Default settings can be changed. I'm going to give you 3 habits that neuroscience has identified as the most powerful ways to do that. Not mood lifts, not affirmations, structural rewiring. And the third one, I need you to stay for the third one, because it's the one that sounds too simple to matter. And it's the one that changed how I understand happiness entirely. There was a night, maybe 2 years into what I can only describe as functioning on autopilot, where I caught myself replaying a conversation from 3 days earlier. Not a fight, not a crisis. A mildly awkward exchange at work that nobody else probably even remembered. 3 a.m., still awake, still in it, and I realized, I have not spent 30 seconds today noticing a single thing that went well. Not one. That gap between how long we hold the bad and how quickly we release the good is not a character flaw. It's the negativity bias in action, and it's running in most people every single day without a single interruption. So here is the first habit. Habit 1. Negativity interruption. Every time you catch a negative thought, cycling, not just passing through, but cycling, looping, pulling you back, you do one specific thing. You say, stop, internally, firmly, not to suppress it, not to pretend it isn't there, just to interrupt the circuit. Then you redirect to 3 things you can physically observe right now. Not feel, observe. The light from the window, the weight of your feet on the floor, the sound of something in the background. And here's the scary part. Most people never realize they're rehearsing anxiety every single day. Every loop you let run is a training session. Not for calm, for panic, not for clarity, for dread. You are practicing something. The only question is what? Here's why this works. Every time a negative thought runs, it deepens the neural groove that makes the next negative thought faster, more automatic, more default. Neurons that fire together, wire together. The worrier finds worrying easier over time, not because they're weak, but because they've been practicing without realizing it. Interruption breaks the circuit. Redirection builds a new one. Do it today, for 24 hours. Every time you catch the loop, Stop, observe 3 things. Not what you feel, what you can see, hear, or physically sense right now. It feels almost laughably small. That's the point. Small done consistently beats profound done occasionally. Every single time. Habit 2. The 30-second happiness rule. Rick Hansen at UC Berkeley discovered something that should genuinely change how you move through your day. Positive experiences don't register in your brain the same way negative ones do. Bad thing happens, stored immediately, in vivid detail, for long-term memory. Good thing happens processed slowly, weakly, and largely forgotten if you don't deliberately hold it. His research found that consciously holding a positive experience for just 20 to 30 seconds is enough to begin transferring it into long-term memory, to begin building the neural pathways associated with positive emotion. 20 to 30 seconds. That's the entire gap between an experience that rewires your brain and one that simply passes through it. Here's what that looks like in real life. Your kid says something that makes you laugh. Don't immediately go back to what you were doing. Stop. Stay in it for 30 seconds. Notice where you feel it in your body. Let it fully land. A quiet moment in the morning before the day hits. Don't fill it. Hold it. Someone says something kind to you, don't deflect. Let it in. 30 seconds. You are not indulging. You are doing neuroscience. Most people are living lives full of genuinely good moments, and then patapatescins. Meanwhile, every frustration is stored in high definition. 1 moment today. Hold it for 30 seconds. That's the entire ask. I need to ask you something uncomfortable. When was the last time you did something purely because you enjoyed it? Not productive, not educational, not self-optimizing, not something you could justify later as useful. Just enjoyable, just for the feeling of the doing. Take a second. Actually think about it. For most adults, the honest answer is, not recently, not in months, maybe not in years. And not because they don't want to. Because somewhere in adulthood, enjoyment quietly got reclassified as something you earn after the work is done, after the responsibilities are handled, after everything important is finished. Which means most people never quite get there, and their brains are paying for it in ways they don't see. Some people don't feel heavy and joyless because something is wrong with their life. They feel that way because their brain has been slowly starved of something it genuinely needs and nobody told them. Habit 3. Intentional play. Dr. Stuart Brown spent decades at the National Institute for Play studying the neuroscience of play across thousands of people of all ages. What he found rewrote how I think about adult happiness entirely. Play, defined as any activity done for its own enjoyment, with no specific outcome in mind, produces a neurological state that no other activity can replicate. During genuine play, multiple brain regions activate simultaneously: creativity, emotional regulation, social bonding, long-term memory consolidation. The brain during play is not resting. It is doing some of its most sophisticated work. Regular play produces measurable structural changes in the brain over time. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for emotional regulation, rational thinking, and the ability to fully experience positive emotion. A brain that plays regularly is literally measurably better at being happy. And here's what happens when adults stop, which most do somewhere in their 20s. The prefrontal cortex loses that stimulation. Emotional regulation gets harder. Spontaneous joy decreases. Life starts to feel heavier, more rigid, more relentless. Not because things are objectively worse, because the brain is running on less than it needs. Here is the action. Think of one thing you genuinely enjoyed as a child or young adult that you have completely stopped doing. Not because you decided to stop, because life got full and it quietly fell away. Drawing, playing music badly, cooking something weird, a sport just for the feeling of it, building things with your hands, reading fiction, anything done purely for the joy of the doing with no outcome required. Schedule 30 minutes of it this week. Not to be good at it, not to show anyone, just to play. That 30 minutes is not wasted time. It is your prefrontal cortex receiving exactly the stimulation it needs to grow stronger and to rebuild the capacity for the sustained happiness you've been searching for in all the wrong places. This is the one most people skip. It's also the one that changes the most. Let me come back to where we started. Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. But you are not your ancient ancestors. You are not running from predators. You have something they didn't: the knowledge that the brain can change. And the choice available to you today, right now, to deliberately point that change in a different direction. That is not a small thing. That is everything. None of these habits require a perfect day. None of them require motivation you don't have. None of them require you to feel good before you start. Negativity interruption works when you're in the middle of a spiral at midnight. The 30-second rule works in a window between tasks. Intentional play works in 30 minutes on a Tuesday evening, with no audience and no outcome required. These habits are not asking you to become a different person before you begin. They are how you become a different person by beginning. Every day you choose your habits, you are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Not a dramatic vote, not a life-changing decision, a quiet, daily, cumulative vote. And over time, weeks, months, a year, those votes add up to something that looks nothing like where you started. Most people watching this will feel something right now, a kind of recognition. Yes, this is what I needed to hear. And then they will close this video and do nothing. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, because the gap between understanding something and actually doing it is where most change goes to die. Don't let that happen today. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If you keep training the same brain patterns, don't be surprised when next year feels exactly like this year. Same loops, same defaults, same low-level hum of not enough. The only thing standing between that version of next year and a different one is what you do in the next 7 days. Pick one. Just one of the 3 habits. The one that hit you hardest when you heard it. If you're in a spiral too often, start with negativity interruption. Tonight, next loop you catch, stop, observe, redirect. If you can't remember the last good moment that actually landed, start with the 30-second rule. 1 moment today. Hold it 30 seconds. Let it be real. If life has felt heavy and joyless in a way you can't quite name, start with play. Think of the thing you stopped doing. Schedule 30 minutes. This week, you don't need to do all 3. You need to do one consistently enough for your brain to begin building something new. Every day you choose your habits, you are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Your brain is not wired for happiness, but it is wired for change. And that changes everything.